So how does building community actually stop fascism? It's true that just doing like a community garden isn't going to stop fascism on its own, but you have to look at the bigger picture. This is a great visual for how making systemic change actually works on a macro level. It comes in three parts. We have to resist on the ground, gain power electorally, and crucially, we have to build too. It's only with all three of these things at the same time can we make lasting systemic change. And over at the Conscious Citizens, we've been learning about the build part of the equation, what's called solidarity economies, which if you haven't heard of it, is an economic system that prioritizes our well-being just as much as financial prosperity. And to me, that's a key part of what we're building here. And this isn't some fancy philosophical concept. People have been creating mini solidarity economies for generations, especially in marginalized or indigenous communities. Whenever the state leaves communities behind, it's been up to people to pick up the slack. And we've supported each other with the free exchange of time, labor, resources, essentially building mini autonomous economies based on cooperation, mutualism, and reciprocity instead of profit. Today, there are already a ton of different practices in every part of the economy that operate on these same values, like worker cooperatives, local credit unions, or community land trusts. And there are networks around the world that you can get involved in right now. This is the US Solidarity Economy map, and there are hundreds of entries all over the country. But the problem right now is that all of these practices are separated, and most people treat them as separate services as opposed to a single economic system. But the goal of a solidarity economy is to connect all of these separate practices together, and that way we can start scaling it up into a much larger and much more formal system. That's why it's so important to participate in mutual aid or move your money to a credit union or to shop from cooperative or local stores. Because when we do that, we're contributing to the solidarity economy by doing two things. Economically, we're taking our money, time, labor, and attention out of the system that's based on extraction and investing it into better places. And politically, we're showing other people that a real post-capitalist system is actually viable. It's a huge reason why organizations like the Black Panthers engaged in mutual aid in the first place and considered it a political act. It proved to people that when the state leaves us behind, we actually didn't need the state in the first place. By doing all three of these things at the same time, we can actually create systemic change by shifting the culture itself from one that's based on individualism and consumerism to one that's actually based on mutual solidarity. Anyway, there's so much more to say about solidarity economies. If you want to learn more, check out the latest issue of the Conscious Citizens Dispatch, number 13, where we're talking about solidarity economies a lot more deeply. It's available for free at theconsciouscitizens.org. You can sign up through our link tree to get access to it, along with a growing directory of helpful resources. And if you want, it's also a great way to support our work for as little as $2 a month.